right, here we are on day 34. It is going really fast. I wish I could just skip to the end. It feels like unachievable sometimes, all that must transpire in the next 5 weeks, but it's gonna happen. I also wish I had more time just to be with people. It's like the hardest thing. It's just like not having time to like be with people that I know I'm not gonna have time to be with after this season ends. I'm just having to give that to Jesus over and over again. That being said, I'm going to Charlotte next weekend. I'm gonna take Lila and Jovi with me. We're gonna go see my best friend, Megan. Shout out to Megan. So we can see the bridal shop that she owns, and I just want to see it before we go because I don't know when I'm gonna see it, and the girls want to see it, and we're gonna go see her and her mom Dee, and just have a little Galentine's. So that's one person I can't leave without getting to spend time with. But just trying to hit all the people I can. Spent some time with a friend this morning who is a new friend, but we still hung out all morning, and it was refreshing, even though it was like, wow, we're friends, but we're just becoming friends, but also I'm leaving. But it was refreshing anyways, because it's just somebody else who's said yes to Jesus and yielded their life, and nothing looks the way that they thought it would, and we can just cry together and say he's worthy. So I'm encouraged by that. Yeah, I got our taxes done today. Filed it. It's encouraging. It's exciting. Just to know that there'll be some money coming in this transition. But also he's the provider, right? So it was like interesting just talking to this friend even, and she was like, so what's John Paul gonna do for work? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know the answer. But God's gonna provide. He doesn't lead us where he won't provide. And I got into our reading today, and in Exodus, I'm just gonna hit a few things that I was picking up on. So in Exodus 23, it talks about 6 years that you would work the ground, and on the 7th you rest it, and then 6 days you will work in the 7th. And so I just feel like the Lord is like definitely highlighting just reminding me of the invitation to rest and Sabbath. And so I'm like, God, what does it look like even in this next few weeks to Sabbath? Yeah, to like rest the ground. What does that look like in the season where there's so much to do? How can I rest and Sabbath? Knowing that you bring the increase. So yeah, I'm thinking about that. I also thought it was interesting, super random, but we just celebrated 14 years of marriage a couple weeks ago, and in 2019, we got married in 2012. In 2019 is when we moved from Florida to Georgia, which was like this big move. We got married and had all of that was 7 years in Florida, and then we left Florida. And now 2026 we're moving to Texas, to Brazil. So it's like 7 years and 7 years. And I just thought that was interesting. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, what does that mean? Is there any significance to that? And then just in light of like provision and trusting, I got into Mark 9 is that story where the father brings his son who's demon possessed to Jesus, and he's like, if you are willing, you can have compassion on me, will you heal my son? And Jesus is like, if I'm willing, or if I'm able, like all things are possible for those who believe. He just kind of like pushes back. He's like, if you're able, he's like, I mean, all things are possible for those who believe. And he says, Lord, it says in some translations, it says that he cried out with tears, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. And again, I was chatting with this friend this morning, and we're just like, but he's been faithful so many times, yet I keep asking the same questions of, God, are you going to provide? Like, are you going to be faithful? Like, how are you going to do it? And so I just cry out again, like, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. Help me, the Sabbath, right? Help me to rest in your provision. Help me to like stop striving for a day and trust that you can sustain and you can carry me. even in this season. I don't know. I think that there is going to actually be, maybe this year specifically is going to be a year. There's going to be resting of our hands, of us putting our hands to literally work, to even provide for ourselves in kind of a radical way. In Brazil, and seeing how God's going to provide. I feel like one of the it said, like, about in 6 days you shall work, so that your oxen, your cow, and your slave and her child can be refreshed. And I feel like the part of us that just has to work hard, he's like, I have refreshment for you. Will you enter into my refreshment? Like, and I said to this friend this morning, like, I feel this invitation to rest. I feel like going to Brazil, there's actually an invitation to enter into rest, but there's like a door, and there's certain things that can't come through the door. There's certain like control that can't come through that door to enter into rest. So yeah, I want to say yes to the invitation. And then the psalm was Psalm 37. And it's just so good. It's a good psalm. Yeah. Keep trusting in the Lord and do what is right in his eyes. Fix your heart on the promises of God, and you will become secure, feasting on his faithfulness. Make God the utmost delight and pleasure of your life, and he will provide for you what you desire most. Give God the right to direct your life, and as you trust him along the way, you'll find that he pulled it off perfectly. He will appear as your righteousness, as sure as the dawning of a new day. He will manifest as your justice, as sure and strong as the noonday sun. Quiet your heart in his presence and pray. Keep hope alive as you long for God to come through for you. Just this anthem of like trusting him, yielding to him. So today I want to enter into that. And so today I'm like asking the Lord, and I'm going to ask my husband, like, what does it look like for us to Sabbath in this season? To intentionally rest, even though we have so much to do. Because I want to rely on him in these next few weeks to carry us through. So yeah, there's a lot of things to do, but he has plans and strategy. So yeah, I'm just gonna lean into that. I don't know, maybe tomorrow's a Sabbath. I don't know, tomorrow already has a lot of things on the calendar, but it's always hard. Like, how do it's like, I feel like it's always like that. Sabbath has to be just like set apart. It won't happen without effort. You have to hold the line of Sabbath and be like, no, we're not going to do anything else. So day 34, this is my thought process for today. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.